Hello, boils and ghouls. It's your old pal, John Kassir, the voice of the Crypt Keeper. And it's my favorite time of fear. And you are listening to my good fiend, Lyle Perez, on the Halloween podcast.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Halloween podcast. I am your host, Lyle Perez, and I just got back from Nashville Horror Con, where I got the wonderful John Kassir to do that intro for me. Such a nice guy, really loves his fans. On today's episode, I'm going to give you my thoughts of Nashville Horror Con. I'm going to tell you what I did, how it went, who was there. We're going to have a lot of fun. You guys know I've been to a lot of horror cons, well, conventions in general. I've been to tons. I've met tons of celebrities. And Nashville Horror Con is actually fun because it's so close to home now. I don't have to travel far, because when I was in California, I would do Frightmare weekend in Texas all the time. I would do Crypticon, ZomCon when it was around back in the early, 2010s or something like that. And I would have to travel to either Seattle or Texas. So I would have to go to a lot of these places, airfare. You'd have to go and rent a hotel, all that sort of stuff. But so it's very fun to have one that's so close that I can go to whenever it comes around. And yeah, only about 2 hours away, Nashville, 2.5 hours or so. But it was a fun convention. There wasn't a lot of people there, which is sometimes nice, because last time when I went to Frightmare weekend, honestly, it was wall-to-wall people. You couldn't see any of the vendors because you were just constantly trying to maneuver through the crowd, and there was so many people there where like you couldn't move, you couldn't check out the vendors. I waited in line for probably 6 hours maybe just to get Bruce Campbell to sign my sealed copy of Pitfall for PS1. But I did it. It was fun. And we had a great time. But Nashville Horror Con is such a fun con that if you ever have a chance to check it out, head on out. I think they usually do it around the summer. Last year they did it around the same exact time. So make plans for 2026, because I'm pretty sure it's going to return again. So let's start off by letting you know who was there. Of course, we had the wonderful John Kassir was there. He did that intro for me. Very, very fun guy. Took about 5 minutes talking to me and my son Cal, and I got some pictures of us together. He did that intro. It was very nice. Heather Langenkamp was there as well. You know her from like the Freddy movies. Miko Hughes was there. You know him from things like Pet Sematary or Kindergarten Cop. He was in that. He was in Full House. He was the little boy in Full House, and he was also in A New Nightmare, the one of the Freddy Krueger movies, with Heather Langenkamp. So I got both of them to sign my sealed VHS of it. When I gave it to Heather Langenkamp to sign, she was like, "Oh wow, you are old school," and then she signed it. Miko Hughes was pretty cool when I met him. Very, very nice guy. John Franklin was there. You know him from like Children of the Corn or The Addams Family. He plays Cousin It. Holly Marie Combs was there. She is from Charmed. And also Brian Krause was there from Charmed, and also Drew Fuller was also in Charmed. So all of them were there. Elaine Dietz, I had a nice conversation with her. I'll tell you a little story about her in due time. But Ethan Suplee was there. Very, very cool guy. And of course, Jason Marsden was there. He usually does a lot of the conventions. He's Nashville local now, so I've met him numerous times. I didn't really get to talk to him this time around, but very, very fun. There was a lot of other people there as well, a lot of celebrities, and great time. And I can't forget about the vendors. There was a lot of cool vendors. I met a lot of people. I got a lot of guests that are going to be on the show pretty soon. I'd say probably in the next month or two, I should start cranking out more regular shows with some of these guests. I met some artists. I met some authors, some filmmakers, and also I met a guy, well, a couple, and they own a few different haunted locations, and they invited me to go and stay at one of them to do like a live show. So look out for that. It's going to be a lot of fun. I wanted to do an episode like that when I finished Haunted America, but I couldn't find a haunted location that was relatively close. I mean, this place is, I think it's in Illinois, so I still have a little bit of a drive to get to it. But one of the haunted locations that he owns is called Pine Lawn Manor, and that is in Sumner, Illinois. I have done a little bit of research on it after I got home, and there has been a lot of strange occurrences there. There's been a lot of like YouTube ghost hunters that have gone there and have captured stuff. So I'm pretty excited about going. If you know me, of course, you know that type of stuff doesn't really scare me. Like, I guess me and ghosts have an understanding. Just, I'll let you be, you let me be, and we'll just hang out together. That is my philosophy on ghost hunting. But I'm gonna have him on the show. I believe his name was Anthony, was the owner, and I'm gonna have him on the show. We're gonna talk about his haunted locations. I think he had 4 of them, and Pine Lawn Manor is probably the most well-known one. I will have him on the show pretty soon, I would think. We did exchange phone numbers, and he seemed pretty excited about me doing a show there or talking to him about these haunted locations on the podcast. So we will do that. Next, I want to tell you about the story I have with Eileen Dietz. And if you don't know who that is, she was in The Exorcist. She was the face of Pazuzu, which was the demon that possessed Reagan. And she also was Reagan when she was doing a lot of the crazy stuff. So she was very nice. I had a Funko Pop of Pazuzu, which is a limited edition. I don't know exactly how many they made, but they didn't make many, probably like 1,200 of them. So it's a really hard to find Funko Pop of Pazuzu, the sculpture of it. And when I walked up to her table with it, her first words were, "I hate you." And I was like, why? Why do you hate poor little old Lyle? I don't understand. And then she said, "You know how long I've been looking for one of these pops? And here you are with it." And I was like, oh, well, I guess, you can have mine. Because she says she's been looking for it. She hasn't been able to find one. She hasn't been able to get it, which I found mine on eBay. And I got it for a decent price, too. I don't think I'd be able to replace it for the amount of money that I paid to get it in the first place. But we'll see. So I said that she can have mine. And first she was skeptical about it. And I was like, no, you can have it. It's fine. And then she turned into to happy that she got one. She gave it to I don't know if it was her son or if it was her her handler, her manager, whoever it was. He stashed it away, and then I said, well, now I have nothing for you to sign. Then she said, well, you can have one of these. And so she gave me one of the Funko Pops that she has that I'll show on on the Facebook page. And she signed it and she gave it to me, and we kind of exchanged. And we talked a little bit back and forth, and then she told me, like, hey, because you were so nice to me and you gave me this thing, and I know this thing probably cost you a lot of money, and I will come on your show. And I was like, oh, that would be wonderful, thanks. And so she gave me her email address. I'm gonna have her on the show sometime, probably next month. She said her schedule's gonna be a little bit hectic for this month, but she said definitely next month she'll come on the show and I can interview her and we'll talk for a little bit. So be on the lookout for that episode. It's going to be really cool. She's a very, very nice lady. I did go to her panel, and that was very interesting to hear the things she had to say. So I can't wait to get her on the show. Next up, John Kassir was right next to her, and John Kassir, very, very fun, very, very animated. Loved his fans. He talked to the people in front of me for easily 5 minutes. Like, each one of us really had about 5 minute conversation with him, talking about, the Crypt Keeper and all of that stuff. And my son Callan was there. You probably seen pictures of him on the Facebook page where he was dressed as Michael Myers. So they had a nice little conversation. My son had no idea who he is. And I'm like, it's the Crypt Keeper. Like, I'm pretty sure he's to that age where I'm gonna let him start watching Tales from the Crypt and all of those things that he's in. I had John Kassir sign a sealed copy of the Tales from the Crypt movie Demon Knight, which is really cool. I collect a lot of weird stuff. I collect sealed VHSs. I collect trading cards. I am one of those nerds. You guys have probably heard me mention the type of stuff that I collect. I collect a lot of advertising characters. Amazing Advertising, my first podcast, is still out there. So if you want to check that out, feel free. I talk about old advertising characters. I got a lot of advertising figurines. I don't have a figure of the Crypt Keeper. I tried to find one. I went to a lot of the local stores. I went on eBay, and I couldn't find anything that I really liked to have him sign. But I had him sign a VHS. I'm going to send that off to probably Beckett or what's the other one? CGC, PSA, one of the two. There's so many of them out there now. But I'm going to send it off more than likely to Beckett and have them encapsulate it. And it's going to be great. The one thing that I do regret about not mentioning this to John Kassir, which is going to sound dumb. I did tell him that I covered him on the TV horror hosts, the top 5. And of course, I told him that Elvira was number 1. And he said, yeah, of course. I mean, she's great looking. Of course, she's got to be number 1. And I was like, yeah, that's probably why she was number 1. But the one thing I regret not telling him was my first interaction with the Crypt Keeper was not from Tales from the Crypt or anything like that, but it was actually from the sitcom Brotherly Love in the Halloween episode Witchcraft, which I've covered. I think that was probably one of the very first things we covered here on the Halloween podcast. Pretty sure April was on that show. And yeah, I really wanted to get his thoughts on what he thought about doing that, because I'm pretty sure he wasn't on the screen. His character wasn't on screen. It was the Crypt Keeper, and Andy, of course, is having like a conversation with the Crypt Keeper in the very beginning, and that's definitely him doing the voice. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to see if he remembered ever doing that. There will be other times where I get to talk to John Kassir. I'm going to be doing a lot more conventions. They're a lot of fun. They're a good way for me to hand out stickers for the Halloween podcast. My numbers do go up. My subscribers go up every time I do these events. So hopefully I get more people listening. And if you're one of those people that met me there, hey, thank you so much for coming to my booth, talking to me. And I had a great time talking to everybody. Hopefully you like those stickers or whatever you took, either a button or a postcard. I don't remember. I wasn't really at my booth most of the time. My daughter Callie was manning it. I was more or less running around everywhere, talking to vendors and talking to the celebrities, that sort of stuff, trying to make more context for the Halloween podcast. Then we talked to Heather Langenkamp, who was in A New Nightmare and a couple of other, Nightmare on Elm Street movies. She was fun to talk to, told us a little bit about how it was on set, and did mention to us that Miko played her son, which of course we knew, and Miko was right next to Heather Langenkamp. So I went to Miko next. I talked to him for a little bit. He signed a couple of Funko Pops for me. I did have a sealed copy of A New Nightmare, a VHS tape that he signed, and Heather Langenkamp signed as well. I have that. Now I got to send. I'm debating if I want to send it to Beckett now and just have him encapsulate it, or if I want to try to get Robert Englund to sign it as well. There's a little bit of a space left where I can get his signature before I send it off, but with Beckett, it's $30 per each signature, so it's going to cost me $90 just to get the signatures authenticated on my VHS tape. And then they got to slab it, which is another fee. So it's probably going to cost me a good $200 to get that thing encapsulated, slabbed, verified. But I think it's going to be worth it. It's definitely going to be worth it. And I do have all of my stuff signed to the Halloween podcast. The only one that I think I missed doing was John Kassir. I don't think I told him to put the Halloween podcast or to the Halloween podcast on it. I don't know why. I think he was probably, it's because he was going to record that thing for me, and I wanted to be mindful on the other people in line, because his line was probably the longest when I was there. And yeah, I just wanted to be very mindful. So he recorded that, and I didn't get to tell him to put the Halloween podcast on there. But everybody else put the Halloween podcast in. I'm thinking about maybe if I could figure out how to do like a pedigree to where all of the stuff that I have sent off to CGC or Beckett or anything, if they can put a pedigree that says this was from the Halloween podcast. That way, if I ever decide to stop the Halloween podcast, which is probably unlikely, not for many more years, but when I go and I sell all of my collectibles after that, the people from the show, fans like you guys, can definitely buy my collectibles that I had at one point, and so on and so forth. Or who knows, maybe if I pass, my kids will get it, and they can each share them or whatever, who knows. Then I went to John Franklin, who played Cousin It in the Addams Family. He was also in Children of the Corn. A very, very fun guy, very animated. He signed one of the Funko Pops of Cousin It that I had, and he signed a picture to my daughter. My daughter Kalexi went on Sunday, and she was dressed as Wednesday, so she has a picture of him and Wednesday, or she was Wednesday with her, with thing on her shoulder. So she really liked it. She got a picture signed of him as well. Very, very fun guy, very cool. He did talk to us for a little bit about filming and all of that stuff. So very, very nice. Then after that, we went to Ethan Suplee. Him. He played Frankie Stacchino on Boy Meets World. I didn't really want to talk to him much. He was very nice. He's just, he doesn't look anything like what he did back in those days. He's very skinny, big, buff, and he's kind of intimidating. But he was very fun to talk to. I have a sealed copy of Mallrats, and it's not just the theatrical release of it. It is the screener, so it's one of the first ones, and it's still sealed. He signed that for me, and he was amazed that I had that. Same with Eileen Dietz was also amazed that I had that Funko. So when I do these things, I want to try to come up with the most unusual thing, like thing that they don't really get to see often. But Eileen Dietz has never gotten to actually see that Funko Pop, and Ethan Suplee said he's never even seen one of those things sealed. And I was like, yeah, I tend to get the more obscure stuff. But he signed it, and he did put his catchphrase on it, which I don't want to say, family show. And I'm going to send all that stuff off to Beckett or CGC, somebody to go ahead and authenticate them and, yeah, encapsulate them so I can put them here in my studio. But I will be doing a live probably tomorrow. So if you're listening to this episode on July 15th, which is going to come out, in just a little bit after I'm done recording it, on the 16th, well, actually not the 16th, probably on the 17th. So that is Thursday. On Thursday, probably around 3 o'clock Central. Stay tuned to the Facebook page. If you're not on our Facebook page, facebook.com/The Halloween Podcast. I'm going to be going live on Thursday. I'm going to show you some of this cool stuff. I'm going to show you some of the artwork that I got, some of the cool things, because it's really, really fun stuff. I really want you guys to go out and support these guys, because they go out there, they vend, and they really try to get their stuff out there. So the Halloween Podcast is somewhat popular. I don't want to really toot my own horn, but we do get a lot of listeners. There's a good following for the Halloween Podcast. So yeah, you guys got to support these guys. They do really, really cool work that needs to be recognized. So Thursday, that will be, I believe, the 17th, because tomorrow is Wednesday. So on the 17th, around 3 p.m. Central Time, I'm going to be going live to show you some of the cool stuff that I got from the convention. I also did have the idea, because for some reason, I've been buying a lot of nostalgic Halloween stuff lately. So I want to show you a lot of those too. Trying to get you into the Halloween mood. We're in Summerween right now, which is kind of like summer and Halloween So a lot of the Halloween stuff starting to show up at, department stores, and I think the Dollar Tree doesn't. I think the Dollar Tree actually had some stuff out. I know Sam's Club did. When we went to Sam's Club the other day, they had the Halloween candy was already coming out. So Halloween's going to be here very, very fast in the next 3 months. So yeah, stay tuned for that. If you're not on our Facebook page, facebook.com/The Halloween Podcast, go give it a like. I'm going to be going live there. I probably will be going live on YouTube as well. But the YouTube handle is not The Halloween Podcast. It is called, look up the channel, Generation Y Museum. That is the name of the channel that has all of the Halloween podcast stuff on it. I had a whole idea on doing like a Generation Y museum where I open up an actual museum. I show a lot of the cool stuff from like the 80s, the 90s, the early 2000s, all of the stuff that us Generation Y kids will know. And it was going to be a whole thing. I never really did it, but I still have that channel. So yeah, all of the Halloween podcast stuff just goes onto that channel. So look it up, Generation Y Museum, and I'll be kind of semi-casting on Facebook and on YouTube. So yeah, that is on the 17th. So make sure you go like our page, do all that so you don't miss out. I didn't really talk to Holly Marie Combs or Brian Krause, Drew Fuller from Charmed. All of them were there. I didn't really watch Charmed I guess, I don't know, maybe I was a teen at the time when Charmed was out. I didn't really watch it. I've seen them before in a few other conventions, so I didn't really talk to him. I did hold the door for Brian Krause and Ethan Suplee. Both of them looked at me and said, thank you for holding the door as they were walking into the convention. So that was kind of fun. Same with Jason Marsden. I've met him numerous times. He's been to a lot of the conventions that I've been to. Very, very nice, very fun guy. I wanted to get like a Funko Pop of Binks for him to sign, but for whatever reason, he charges more for Funkos. I don't know why. It goes from one price, which is pretty reasonable for a signature, to a price that I'm like, well, I don't know if I really want to pay the extra amount to have him sign a Funko. Why he does that, I don't know. I'm pretty sure he has his reasons. Maybe he's trying to stop people from signing Funkos and just selling them on eBay. Or maybe he doesn't like the Funko Pop idea. I don't know. Either way, he'll be at another convention that I go to, I'm sure. I did talk to a few authors that were there. They had interest on being on the show. I don't have their information handy. I know I have it somewhere. It's probably in one of my boxes of all of the memorabilia that I got. I know it's in there, so I can't really mention who they were, but there was a few there that I'm going to have on the show. As soon as I get their contact information, I'll contact them. So there's going to be a lot of great stuff coming up on the Halloween podcast very soon. One person I do want to talk about is a artist that was there. Her name was Whitney Yadon, something like that. And she does really, really cool art. I got 2 pieces of art from her that were really, really cool. They kind of gave me like a nice nostalgic feel. One of them I posted it on the Facebook page already, and it's like 2 ghosts around a campfire. For whatever reason, I just looked at it and I was like, maybe not. So I put it back, and then I left her table, and then I came back. I was like, no, I'll pick it up. So I picked that one up, and I also picked out another one that I don't think I posted, but it's about a little ghost on a laptop. And I was like, yeah, that's exactly how I felt when I was doing Haunted America. It was late at night most of the time when I was doing the recordings, when I was doing all of the editing. So I literally felt like that little ghost just sitting there tapping away on a laptop, or it's actually desktop. I record on a desktop. And yeah, it gave me those thoughts. So my daughter wants that one. So she did sign both of them to the Halloween podcast, which is great. She is on Etsy, and she is on Instagram, so I will link her stuff. I'll also link Andrew's information too for the Pine Lawn Manor, because you want to check that out. So all of that stuff will be in the show notes. And who else did I talk to? Oh, I another podcast that was there, the Blood and Donuts podcast. If you like horror, you really need to check out their podcast. They do good stuff. Those two guys, what are their names? Chris and Tony. That's right. Both really, really nice guys, really fun guys. They're trying to take their podcast, they're trying to get more followers, more listeners. Of course, that's exactly what I was doing as well. So if you guys like horror movie reviews, you need to check them out. I've already listened to a few of their episodes. They do really good stuff. Their conversations are nice and very entertaining. They definitely do a deep dive into a lot of these movies, which is nice. So check them out, Blood and Donuts. I will also be doing a show with them. They'll be on my show. I'll be on their show. I'm not sure when that's going to happen. Probably not for another month or so, but when it does, look out for that. But in the meantime, check out their podcast. Again, it is Blood and Donuts. Link will be in the show notes. And to finish off my experience over there at Nashville Horror Con, I did talk to a few filmmakers. And there was one from Pumpkin Creek Studios that I was talking to for a little bit. They shot a movie in Waverly, Tennessee. Waverly, Tennessee is probably about an hour north, maybe an hour and a half north of me. We drove through Waverly when we went to Evansville Horror Con in Evansville, Indiana. And it was a very nice little town. I believe a couple years ago, they were in the news because the a lot of the town flooded. Very, very bad stuff. But these guys, they shot a movie called The Beast That Ate Waverly. I did check out the trailer. It looked very fun, very B-movie-esque. So if you're interested, just look it up, The Beast That Ate Waverly. You can go to their website, pumpkincreekstudios.com, and you can check it out there. Again, link will be in the show notes. I keep saying that, but trust me, all of these links will be there for you to check out if you're interested. Last but not least, I want to talk about another filmmaker that was there who had a nice, well, I shouldn't say nice, but had a pretty wild story about their movie. I'm going to have him on the show. He's going to explain it more in detail. The guy's name is Bobby Hicks, and they shot a very, very fun movie that I did watch, and we talked about it back and forth. It's a lot of fun. The name of the movie is called The Everyday Adventures of Brig and Joe, which is a total comedy / horror / sci-fi / I don't know, B movie. But the movie is basically dead on water, and we'll talk about it when I have him on the show. I'm gonna do a review of it, like a show review of the movie, probably, I don't know, maybe next week or so. I'll sit down and review the movie. I'll let you guys know about it, so you can go on Amazon Prime, check it out. And it's a lot of fun. Just go on there, leave it a review, whatever you got to do. But it was a fun movie, and when I have him on, we'll definitely talk more about the movie and what happened, why it's basically a dead concept now. And very, very sad, though, I should say. It is very sad. But me and him, we had a lot of fun talking back and forth. I told him about the podcast. He was interested in coming on, talking about the movie. And who knows, maybe we'll talk about other stuff as well. But that is pretty much my entire experience at Nashville Horror Con. It was a lot of fun. There was a lot of cosplayers out there, which is really cool. There was a lot of vendors. A lot of the vendors were very, very nice. A lot of the vendors I knew already from different conventions. We all kind of get around. A lot of people remembered me, of course, the Halloween podcast. And I did talk to a lot of people about the show, which I really want to get back up and running. Right now, I've just been doing a lot of Halloween Podcast Presents, which I love doing the stories, but I want to get back into the saddle and start doing more of the interview stuff, more of the review stuff, which I am going to do. But I did have the idea of doing the Dark Record, which was going to be our countdown to Halloween. I'm still not 100% sure if that's going to happen or not this year, because it is a lot of work to do those shows. And doing 50 shows that fast, or actually it's 60 shows this time around that fast, I'm going to need a lot of help. But I guess that's going to do it for this episode on the Nashville Horror Con. Again, it was a lot of fun. If you've never checked it out before, they do it every year. They'll more than likely do it again next year. So if you're in the Nashville area, make sure you check it out. They also do one in Louisville, and they also do it in Evansville. So it's the same people that do all three of those. So make sure if you're in the area, make sure you check them out next time they come around. So until then, guys, I will see you later. And don't forget, this Thursday, I'm going to be going live Thursday, July 17th, 2025 on the Facebook page, facebook.com/The Halloween Podcast. And I'm going to be there. I'm going to be able to chat with you guys. I'm going to show you some of the stuff that I got, some of the vintage Halloween stuff. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'll probably be on there for, an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, depending on how many people show up. If more people show up, I'll hang out longer. But if I'm just doing a show that I'm going to post later, then, I'll just end it whenever it ends. But all right, guys, I will see you later. You guys have a good night.